I lied. The title's a lie. Actually, okay. Here's the thing with drawing with bases and basically kind of tracing. There's like obviously there's some sort of there's do's and don'ts with it. So we're going to use something that I'm about to draw as an example, basically. So this one I just transported from my iPad to my computer because I got lazy and I like doing art on a regular tablet instead of my iPad. Oops. Anyways, so here's the original one. I have an idea for how I want to do this, obviously. The thing, and then the apps, I'll just list it on the screen. So we're starting off with this as our base. Okay. Doesn't look too promising. Excuse their bald heads. So the thing with this is that this is not a one by one thing. At least for me, when I use 3D models and when I trace, usually the final result will usually not look like the base. And that's pretty normal, I think. If you're a beginner artist, I wouldn't really recommend using bases. At least in terms of tracing, I wouldn't recommend it because it is going to give you a hard time. Just because when you start actually drawing and stuff like that, your proportions are going to look weird. Your anatomy is going to look wonky. I know that for sure because my art gets really wonky if I specifically use the bases one to one. So already, here's our first like copied and paste off of the app. Here's my first adjustment. Basic. Ooh, that's rough. Ooh, here's my first adjustment. Second adjustment. Oh, whoops. There we go. This is what it currently looks like right now. Big difference compared from this to this. And that's because I wanted to have a better perspective. That's where my point of interest is right there, and that's how I wanted to adjust it accordingly. Which, of course, depending on whatever you're drawing, it's going to end up a certain way. So let's sketch over this first. Okay. So, when recording, it's low-key kind of a pain in the butt to load it properly. But like as you can tell, okay, obviously it's a sketch, but it's slightly different than the oh, this is the wrong layer. Is this the right layer? Yeah, that's the right layer. Layer. It's slightly different, of course. I mean, you have to adjust it to your own art style and how you perceive the anatomy. Of course. With hands, obviously that one's a big one for me, at least because I can't draw hands and I hate drawing hands so much. But it's fine. It's fine. Anyways, so at this point now, I just have to actually start adjusting for how I want it to look like in terms of, oh, there we go. Start adjusting, start erasing and adding things. I might just make a whole new layer and just draw, but so a lot of it right here, I mean, it obviously it's not simple. It's art. It's always going to be some sort of challenge. But yeah, I mean, obviously using a lot of the resources that you can is going to help you a lot in terms of how you want it to look like. And you know, at least for me, a lot of the times it doesn't look the way I want it to at the end, but it's a slower process of trying to learn how to draw and different methods and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Actually, that didn't really take that long. So this is the better sketch. Yeah. This is a more evenly drawn out one. I'm not gonna say it's the best, obviously. We got some missing components here. AKA the parts where I'm hoping I don't have to draw, and I hope that the composition like lets me get away with not drawing certain parts of the drawing. But anyways, so okay, the hard part comes here where I don't want the line art to look as completely different as the sketch, but you know, it's something that I have to accept. It's fine. I'm in the middle of drawing, and like I'm drawing, I just had like the most horrendous Italian flashback. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's it. Alright. Okay, so we have reached the point where I'm just kind of freeballing and hoping that something sticks and it looks okay. I know there's Disney things going on right here, but literally it's covered. So out of sight, out of mind, at least for me. See, at some point I thought to myself, hey, I don't like the coloring. And I hate coloring low key. So I gave up. But like the red accents, like you can't tell me this doesn't look pretty cool at this point. But you know, sometimes you have to sit there and just think to yourself, you know what, I give up. That's not a good mentality. But no, that's not right. Sometimes you gotta think outside the box and be a little more creative with your presentation. And you won't be too frustrated with yourself. Sorry, my brain like locked in for like 5 minutes, I think. Okay. Moral moral of the story, does it look the same as it did when I had my oh wait, it's right here. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it all the way to the top. Okay, check this shit out. Here's the final product, right? Probably took like maybe 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. Sorry. Okay. Right. I need you to sit here and like remember that this is what it looks like in the beginning. Their faces are taking me out, right? Yeah. Two different things. Um, yeah. Sorry. It's taking me out, but my point with tracing is that it should be like your step one if you're going to use it when you want an idea of what you want for a drawing. It shouldn't be your complete clutch, and you shouldn't base the anatomy off of the 3D figure model because sometimes it really is wacky. And yeah, from a beginner artist, honestly, I think working on understanding anatomy better helps. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not saying my anatomy is perfect and stuff like that, but like, if you're really, really starting out, like, trust me, man, it's a big hindrance to your future art in terms of like just understanding where certain places of the body goes and where does what, who does what, when. Ooh, I should not delete that line. Who, where, what, when, why, how. See, I'm already critiquing my art right now while I'm looking at it. But yeah, just don't take it too seriously, man. That's it. Bye.